Hello everyone, welcome to the Judiciary Wings by Crack Academy. I am नीलम शुक्ला और आज हम देखेंगे सेक्शन 152 ऑफ बीएनएस एंड एक रीसेंट जजमेंट भी डिस्कस करेंगे जिसमें कि इस बात को बताया गया है कि क्या सिडिशन सेक्शन 124 ए ऑफ आईपीसी जो कि एज इट इज बीएनएस में तो नहीं प्रिस्क्राइब्ड है, बट क्या ये आज भी बीएनएस 2023 में इसकी छाया अवेलेबल है, बनी हुई है। तो चलिए सबसे पहले हम देखते हैं केस तेजेंद्र पाल सिंह वर्सेस स्टेट ऑफ राजस्थान जो कि 2024 में आया है, जिसमें कि इट वाज हेल्ड दैट Section 152 of BNS should not be used to cripple legitimate dissent and only deliberate actions with malicious intent would fall within the ambit of this provision. So, यहाँ पर हम ये देखेंगे कि BNS does not formally use the term sedition, and the Rajasthan High Court's recent decision hints that the spectre of sedition still looms large in the BNS. ये माना गया है कि BNS में कहीं ना कहीं आज भी सिडिशन के कुछ पार्ट्स या उसकी स्पेक्टर होने का प्रभाव है। तो सबसे पहले आज हम देखिए बात करेंगे हिस्टोरिकल बैकग्राउंड ऑफ द सिडिशन। कब सिडिशन की शुरुआत हुई, किस प्रकार से सिडिशन को इंडियन पिनल कोड में स्थान दिया गया। तो सबसे पहले जब इंडियन पिनल कोड का फॉर्मेशन हो रहा था, तब लॉर्ड मैकॉले ने फर्स्ट टाइम इंडियन पिनल कोड में सिडिशन को स्थान देने के बारे में सोचा था, जो कि उस समय संभावित नहीं हो पाया था। बट later the Indian Penal Code was officially established in 1860. However, the idea laid down by the Lord Thomas Macaulay concerning sedition was omitted at that time. यहाँ पर हमने देखा कि इंडियन पिनल कोड में उस समय जबकि फर्स्ट टाइम ड्राफ्ट तैयार हो रहा था, इंडियन पिनल कोड का फॉर्मेशन हुआ था, उस टाइम लॉर्ड मैकॉले ने जैसा कि सिडिशन प्रोविजन के बारे में सोचा था, उस टाइम पर वहां पर उसको नहीं स्थान दिया जा सका था। बट इट वाज लेटर इनकॉर्पोरेटेड इन आईपीसी अंडर सेक्शन 124A, which criminalize disaffection towards the government established by law by the then law member of the Governor General Council James Stephen through the amendments, यानी कि अमेंडमेंट द्वारा सेक्शन 124A को बाद में यहाँ पर स्थान दिया गया था। देखिए आइए डिटेल में जानते हैं कि इंडियन पिनल कोड में सेक्शन 124A क्या बताता है। Whoever by words either spoken or written or by visual signs or by visual representation or otherwise brings or attempts to bring into hatred or contempt or excites or attempts to excite disaffection towards the government established by law in India shall be punished with imprisonment for life, to which fine may be added, or with imprisonment which may extend to 3 years, to which fine may be added, or with fine. So यहाँ पर क्या था कि द वर्ड्स जो कि या तो लिखे गए हों या कि बोले गए हों बाय साइंस और बाय विजुअल रिप्रेजेंटेशन और अदरवाइज जिसके द्वारा कि कंटेम्प्ट होता है या हेट्रेड होता है या और फिर डिसअफेक्शन होता है टुवर्ड्स द गवर्नमेंट एस्टैब्लिश्ड बाय लॉ इन इंडिया शैल बी पनिश्ड। यहाँ पर क्या पनिशमेंट दी हुई थी सेडेशन के लिए इंडियन पिनल कोड में? इम्प्रिजनमेंट फॉर लाइफ with fine or with imprisonment which may extend to 3 years and or with fine। यहाँ पर जो एक्सप्लेनेशन है और फर्स्ट एक्सप्लेनेशन बताता है कि द एक्सप्रेशन disaffection includes disloyalty and all feelings of enmity। Second explanation, comments expressing disapprobation of the measures of the government with a view to obtain their alteration by lawful means without exciting or attempting to excite hatred, contempt, or disaffection do not constitute an offense under this act। means ऐसा एक्सप्रेशन जिसके द्वारा कि लॉफुल डिसएप्रोबेशन हो रहा हो फॉर द मेजरमेंट ऑफ गवर्नमेंट, वो सेडिशन नहीं कॉन्स्टिट्यूट करेगा। Third point of explanation talks about comments expressing disapprobation of the administrative or other action of the government without exciting or attempting to excite hatred, contempt, or disaffection do not constitute an offense under this section। तो यहाँ पर ये बात करता है कि ऐसा कोई भी कमेंट जो कि एक्सप्रेस करता है एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन और अदर एक्शंस ऑफ द गवर्नमेंट विदाउट एक्साइटिंग और अटेम्प्टिंग टू एक्साइट हेटरेट, कंटेम्प्ट और डिसअफेक्शन do not constitute an offense of sedition under this section। Now, the offense is cognizable, non-bailable and triable by court of session, and offense is not listed under the compoundable offenses। अब बात करते हैं सेक्शन 152 ऑफ द BNS, जो कि बात करता है whoever purposely or knowingly by words either spoken or written or by signs or by visible representation or by electronic communication or by use of financial means or otherwise excites or attempts to excite secession or armed rebellion or subversive activities or encourages feeling of separatist activities or endangers sovereignty or unity and integrity of India or indulges in or commits any such act shall be punished with imprisonment for life, or with imprisonment which may extend to 7 years and shall also be liable to fine. यहाँ पर ऐसे कोई भी एक्टिविटीज करना मेनली इंटेंशनली जिससे कि सोवर्निटी एंड यूनिटी एंड इंटीग्रिटी ऑफ इंडिया खतरे में आती हो, तो वो किससे पनिशेबल होगा? लाइफ इम्प्रिजनमेंट और imprisonment which may extend to 7 years with fine. Explanation: comments expressing disapprobation of the measures or administrative or other actions of the government with a view to obtain their alteration by lawful means without exciting or attempting to excite the activities referred to in this section. Now we will see the classification under BNSS, which is, first we have discussed about punishment, which is imprisonment for life or imprisonment up to 7 years and fine. The offense is cognizable, non-bailable and triable by court of session. अब बात करते हैं कुछ केसेस जिनमें कि सेडिशन को डिस्कस किया गया. सबसे पहले हम देखेंगे प्री इंडिपेंडेंस केसेस. फर्स्ट केस इज क्वीन इम्प्रेस वर्सेस जोगेंद्र चंद्र बोस. तो इस केस में जोगेंद्र बोस wrote an article criticizing the age of consent act 1891. His criticism was taken as disobedience towards the government. However, later the case was dropped. He was released on bail. The second case is sedition trial of Lokmanya Tilak in 1897. Bal Gangadhar Tilak was published the reports of celebration followed by an 1894 paper on the Maratha king Shivaji by Professor R.P. Karkaria. Karkaria presented his paper to Bombay's Royal Asiatic Society in 1894. This paper led to the annual celebration of the Shivaji coronation. Later, Tilak was sentenced to 18 months of rigorous imprisonment in this case. Third case is sedition trial of Lokmanya Tilak again in 1908, in which Tilak published two Kesari articles titled The Country's Misfortune, which he published on 12th May 1908, and These Remedies Are Not Lasting, which was published on 9 June 1908. Under the newly drafted section 124A, he was sentenced to 6 years of imprisonment in Burma. Fourth pre-independence case here we are discussing is sedition trial of Mahatma Gandhi, which is very important. Mahatma Gandhi was imprisoned for 6 years of his articles in his newspaper Young India. उन्होंने यंग इंडिया में कुछ आर्टिकल्स पब्लिश किए थे जिसकी वजह से उनको 6 years of imprisonment हो गई थी. The charge imposed on him were bringing or attempting to excite disaffection towards His Majesty's government established by law in British India. यहाँ पर महात्मा गांधी ने इस केस को एक टाइटल के द्वारा समझाने या ब्रीफ करने की कोशिश की थी, जो कि जिसमें कि इसका क्रिटिसिज्म भी किया जाता है. सेडिशन लॉ का, महात्मा गांधी termed sedition 124A as prince among the political provisions or sections of the Indian Penal Code designed to suppress the liberty of the citizens. उन्होंने कहा कि ये प्रोविजन या ये सेक्शन इंडियन पिनल कोड का जो है ये प्रिंस है अमंग ऑल पॉलिटिकल सेक्शंस, जो कि इस प्रकार से डिजाइन किया गया है जिससे कि सिटीजन्स की लिबर्टी को सप्रेस किया जा सके। अब यहाँ पर हम नेक्स्ट देखेंगे पोस्ट इंडिपेंडेंस केसेस ऑफ द सेडिशन। फर्स्ट इज ब्रिजभूषण एंड अनदर वर्सेस स्टेट ऑफ दिल्ली एंड रोमेश थप्पर versus State of Madras. The Apex Court held that a law that restricts speech on the ground that it would disturb public order was unconstitutional. Second case is post the decision of the court prompted the second point is the decision of the court prompted the first constitution amendment where article 19 clause 2 was rewritten to replace undermining the security of the state within the interest of the public order। इस केस के द्वारा आर्टिकल 19 क्लॉज 2 को रीराइट किया गया। Now second case is Kedarnath Singh versus State of Bihar 1962. The constitutional validity of section 124A was put to test in this case. A member of a forward bloc had given a speech in which he was charged as sedition. Third point is the Supreme Court held speech or writing to which subverting the government by violent means is implicit, including the notion of revolution, is seditious. A failed attempt to incite too is counted as sedition. It was a sedition to create public disorder. Third case is Balwant Singh versus State of Punjab. Balwant Singh and other two was alleged to have shouted pro-Khalistan slogans on the day of former PM Indira Gandhi's assassination. The Apex Court held that unless there is public disorder, merely sloganeering cannot attract punishment under section 124A. सेक्शन 124A सेडिशन, जिसका कि हम कंपेयर करेंगे नेक्स्ट पॉइंट में, देखते हैं। सेक्शन 124A सेडिशन फोकसेस ऑन enticing hatred, contempt or disaffection towards the government through the words, signs or visible representation. The penalties for such include imprisonment for life up to 3 years और फाइन। या तो imprisonment for life punishment था या तो imprisonment up to 3 years और फाइन। जबकि BNS section under BNS section 152 has a broader aspect addressing not just the incitement or disaffection towards the government but also secession, armed rebellion, subversive activities and separatism. It includes a wider range of actions that cause sedition as compared to that under IPC. Words, signs, visual representation, electric communication, and financial means, the criteria for punishment under BNS are more intense, and it includes imprisonment for life or imprisonment up to 7 years or and fine. Now, the modifications in the definition of the sedition under BNS reflect the more stringent approach to protecting national interest and unity. यहाँ पर नेशनल इंटरेस्ट एंड यूनिटी को ज़्यादा क्रूशियल बनाया गया है. Earlier, the words that were causing actions for the Sedition Act were very harsh and required some major actions. But under BNS, the mere words themselves will be constituted under sedition law for having participated in anti-national activities. तो जैसा कि हमने यहाँ पर बात किया, इस केस में राजस्थान हाईकोर्ट ने यहाँ पर तेजेंद्र पाल सिंह वर्सेस स्टेट ऑफ राजस्थान में ये बताया कि सेक्शन 152 ऑफ BNS should not be used to cripple legitimate dissent, and only deliberate actions with malicious intent would fall within the ambit of this provision. अब यहाँ पर देखिए 10 पॉइंट्स में, इन 10 पॉइंट्स के थ्रू हम यहाँ पर इस जजमेंट में देखेंगे कि इस केस के द्वारा किस प्रकार से सेडिशन लॉ की फिर से चर्चा हुई. तो फर्स्ट पॉइंट इज डेफिनेशन ऑफ सेडिशन रीअफर्म्ड. द कोर्ट रिटरेटेड दैट सेक्शन applies only when speech or expression incites violence or public disorder against the state. Mere criticism of the government is not sedition. Second point is freedom of speech versus national security. This judgment balanced Article 19, Clause 1A, freedom of speech and expression, with reasonable restrictions under Article 19, Clause 2, stating that speech loses protection if it incites violation. Third point is intent is crucial. Means the intention must be there, due to which the sedition causes. The court emphasized that mens rea, means criminal intent, is necessary for sedition. Simply making inflammatory remarks is not enough unless there is an intent to incite violence. Means intention is very crucial. Fourth point is public disorder as requirement. Referring to the Kedarnath Singh 1962 case, the court held that sedition requires direct connection to public disorder or an attempt to overthrow government by violent means. Fifth point is criticism versus disaffection. It was clarified that citizens have the right to criticize the government strongly, but spreading hatred or inciting rebellion crosses into sedition. Sixth point is no blanket ban on controversial statements. The judgment reaffirmed that statements against the government policies or leaders are not seditious unless they incite violence. Seventh point is misuse of sedition law. The court warned against the misuse of the sedition law to suppress dissent, directing that authorities must apply it cautiously and only in cases of actual incitement. Means only in actual incitement अगर cause हो रहा है तभी वहाँ पर sedition law का application होना चाहिए. 8th point is burden of proof on the prosecution. The ruling stated that the prosecution must prove the direct incitement to violence and vague or indirect implication are insufficient. Prosecution को डायरेक्ट इंसाइटमेंट प्रूव करना पड़ेगा, वेग यानी कि अस्पष्ट और इनडायरेक्ट implication will be insufficient. Ninth point is arrest guidelines. The court emphasized that the prior judicial approval should be sought before applying sedition charges, and arrest should not be made arbitrarily. 10th point is relevance in modern democracy. The judgment raised concerns about the colonial origins of sedition law and called for a re-examination of its necessity in independent India, aligning with calls for legal reforms. तो यहाँ पर हम क्या implication देखते हैं इस जजमेंट के थ्रू, जिसमें कि ये देखा गया कि the delicate balance between national security and freedom of speech, यहाँ पर बहुत डेलिकेटली बैलेंस करने की कोशिश की गई नेशनल सिक्योरिटी एंड फ्रीडम ऑफ स्पीच के बीच में. It raises concern about the potential misuse of Section 152 BNS to suppress dissent, going debates reminiscent of the repealed sedition law under Section 124A of the Indian Penal Code. यहाँ पर इस जजमेंट के थ्रू मेनली इस पॉइंट पर जोर दिया गया कि सेक्शन 124A इंडियन पिनल कोड की तरह ही सेक्शन 152 BNS को ना ट्रीट किया जाए, बल्कि इस प्रोविज़न को अप्लाई करते समय बहुत ही डेलिकेटली यहाँ पर ध्यान दिया जाए कि क्या ये उन एसेंशियल्स को कंप्लीट करता है या नहीं. तो दिस